I just jumped up. Screenshots. So 2 sets opened. Do that again. Okay, so these are just screenshots for when I sign out of my account or about to sign out of my channel. This is what happens. All processes are restricted. MDNS responder data is sent to that. Kernel task is always 0. Wireless radio manager D, MDNS responder, Bluetooth the managed client, Wi-Fi velocity agent. These are my, I'll go back to that. So kernel task is always 0. Kernel task is always 0. In energy impact, join my home network, Bluetooth D, sharing D. Wi-Fi is using energy, is an active process, which is fine because I joined my home network. No network, Wi-Fi is still using energy. Airport D, I am remote URL connection agent. All processes are restricted. Like I said, Wi-Fi using energy, but no visible network there. Kernel task 0. Sharing D, common. Bluetooth D, common. Bytes are sent, packets received without visible network. Kernel task always 0. Wi-Fi is consuming energy, is using CPU. Wireless radio manager D, this is how Stalker gets access. And active processes 210 degrees there. Just before I sign out of my channel, I'm still in Studio U2. He knows I'm about to sign out, and suddenly things go crazy. YouTube is suddenly having an energy impact of 141.5, CPU 141.5, and so on. Safari networking is sending over 6 million packets. Safari networking, not to YouTube Studio. These are active processes. Again, every single process is restricted, including signing out of my YouTube channel and Safari. Every single process restricted. Okay, there's Safari. Safari is restricted from termination. Kernel task 0. Sharing D, MDNS responder. Wireless radio manager D, managed client, Wi-Fi velocity agent. Again, every process restricted. Kernel task 0. Temperature 209, I think that 206, doesn't matter. 0 is kernel task, Bluetooth D, sharing D. Wi-Fi is consuming energy and CPU without visible network. 204, 206 degrees Fahrenheit. He removed all my markups because I marked everything up. He does it all the time. MDNS responder is sending and receiving packets. Right there, it's sending and receiving packets. Temperature 212 degrees, no visible network. And let's see, kernel task is again 0. I already spoke about MDNS responder, right? Again, all processes are restricted. 0 is kernel task, MDNS responder is there, sharing D, and cloud paired. I'm not signed into iCloud. Wi-Fi is off. Wi-Fi is off. Kernel task is 0. Wi-Fi is consuming energy here. And sharing D is a common thing, as in Bluetooth D, sharing D, Bluetooth D, Wi-Fi, no visible network, sending and receive packets all the time, kernel task 0, all are active processes. Again, Wi-Fi consuming energy when there is no visible network, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. 0 for kernel task, system preference is 69.1 energy impact, Wi-Fi consuming energy but no visible network there. Disk management D, consuming energy, again all active processes, and so it goes. And 212 degrees, no visible network, kernel task is 0, view bridge auxiliary, there are 2 of them, not in the screenshot but there are 2 of them, system preference here, system preference there, and this is profile remote view service. Alright, at 46.8, activity monitor 82, 212 degrees, Wi-Fi is in amber, kernel task is at 0, system preference, and this is remote view bridge auxiliary, airport D using energy but no visible network, kernel task 0, system preference here, system preference there, system preference here. This one here says remote view service, MDNS responder, sending and receive data all the time, 212 degrees. Kernel task is 0, system preference, 3 of them, sharing D, Bluetooth D, notify D, amber, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. System stats is not in the drop down menu. There's a recording of this, it's been recorded, it will be uploaded. 212 degrees F Fahrenheit. System preference, 2 of them, even though one window is open here. No visible network connection, but Wi-Fi is consuming 4.5 energy impact. System preference 1 and 2. System stats at 50, but it's not showing up here. It just says Wi-Fi, it just says quick time and activity monitor. It does not reflect here. Airport D consuming 14.4. It has energy impact of 14.4. Wi-Fi again 4.5. User event agent, there's 2 of them. 212 degrees. Kernel task 0, more than 100% energy impact. It's essentially mirrored here in CPU. It's essentially the same thing with slight variation. Airport D consuming energy but no visible network connection. Student D, this comes and goes. I'm not a student. Restricted, all processes restricted. 212 degrees. Kernel task is 0. Cloud paired D, not me. I'm not signed into iCloud. MDNS responder, find my device D. I didn't turn that on unless Apple turns it on automatically. Data sent via MDNS responder, sent received, sent bytes to MDNS responder. They're all active processes. Kernel task is 0 again. Energy impact is 0, is between 10 and 7.8, but it's 0. Sharing D, Bluetooth D, view bridge auxiliary, 2 of them. Wi-Fi consuming energy is at 0.1. Temperature is 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Data being sent, right here and right there. I cleared history, it did not work. Later in the day, Mac has been in continuous use when I shut it down. 212 degrees, fan is very loud, it's all the way maximum at nearly 8,000 RPM. And this is the end of the screenshots, and this is what the Mac is doing right now. There we go. It's about 50 degrees higher than the average computer. And I'm going to stop recording. Oh yes. And go here and go here. Quick timer preview using significant energy and